three legs. Yeah, you know the reference.
LeBron.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take away with.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined as always by Danny Code, DC, UPenn's finest, and CB Culture Boy, Chris Culture. We got another good episode for you guys today. We're going to be talking about the defensive linemen in this year's NFL class. We're going to be talking about the Dallas Mavericks because something is going on over there, clearly. And then we will doing a Take the Skyline segment on Luka Doncic, as he's been under a lot of heat. I would essentially say going through his Cavs stint one phase, where it's just like, I'm like, oh, well, his team is bad, but you got to look at the superstar. We're going to see where he stacks up with everybody else. And then we'll wrap it up with an NBA outro game, guess the NBA player. I got my player today. But before we get into any of that, Danny, tell us how you're feeling, and you can give us your summits and plummets while you're at it. It could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about March Madness now. We're free.
We are free from seeing a horrible brand of basketball, as you might say, but I enjoy it. That's actually
Women's
my
basketball
summit.
is awesome.
That's my summit. Actually,
stinks.
the whole entire tournament, we saw upsets among upsets. If you were to bet the underdog $100 on every game, you would have made $1,800, and that speaks to March Madness. Honestly enough, people don't want to hear about this. Watching First Take today, they were ranking the postseasons in the all of the MLB, all the bro. Mad Dog put NBA 5. How that's just an eternal L.
Look,
how do you rank
in front of it? But I don't agree.
He put MLB 1, which I think MLB's up there, but I don't know if it's a 1.
No. Me and Danny talk about this all the time. MLB just has the biggest contrast between playoffs and regular season.
Yeah.
It's just the biggest jump. Now, don't get it twisted. Playoff baseball, that is something else. But come on. It's not better than NBA basketball.
I think it's rough.
Anyway,
That's rough.
Danny, you want to give us your plummet, and then we'll swing it on to Chris?
Oh, my plummet is the Philadelphia Phillies so far. Starting off 1-5, coming off of the World Series run, and I just got a notification the Phillies home opener has been postponed to Friday, so keep you in store to what is coming. One more day of being 1-5.
That's rough. But yeah, Chris, how are you doing? What's the summits and plummets for today?
I'm doing pretty good. It's hump day, almost through the week, almost a day close to the weekend, so I'm doing good. I think my plummet is Sleepy Jill. Yeah, Joe's wife. Jill lost me a little bit when she was trying to invite both teams to the thing. And outside of what everybody's been talking about, it's literally just the simple fact that winners go, losers go find something else to do. Like, that's just how it's always worked. And I think I think she kind of played into what the social media was playing into, with kind of pitting the two, Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, against each other for more reasons than just basketball. So that's my plummet. I really hated that. That was my least favorite. My summit is old Goat James last night pulling out a victory after playing terrible in the third and fourth quarter, technically.
You mean the last 2 minutes?
Yes. No, the whole game.
Minute,
The third and fourth
seconds.
quarter. I hated his third and fourth quarter because, for one, AD didn't touch the ball enough in the third quarter, in my opinion. Like, yeah, you can run stuff for him, but if you're LeBron and you've said this out of your mouth, you controlling the game, you make sure you get it to him. That's why I said that. But I do like his overtime performance. He sealed the game, so that's my plum. I'm happy about that. They're tied enough, and tonight is the night. And if AD and LeBron don't play, I send you a tweet, Tone. I'm 100% with you. If they don't play, I will cause a riot. I don't care about load management. I care about getting an extra week off so we'll have to do the play-in tournament. That's my something.
All right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
Ironically enough, I have a connection to Joe Biden. Joe Biden taught my stepdad in high school.
Wow.
She was a high school teacher in Wilmington, Delaware. Taught at Brandywine High School, Tony. I don't even know if you know this, but
Wow,
yeah, she
Nah,
taught my
you never told
stepdad.
me about that.
that's kind of
Yeah.
cool.
All right, you never told me about that. But yeah, all good summits and plummets from you guys. Um, I would probably say my summit is Mr. Joel Hans Embiid, as he essentially has locked up the MVP.
Jojo.
It is all but over. They simply just got to cruise through these 3 games. And my thing is, look, putting up 52 points on Luke Cornett and Grant Williams doesn't move me. Like, that's not what did it. It's it's the fact that Nikola Jokic, you lost by 21 and played horribly against the Houston Rock.
21.
A glory. Yeah,
That's
that's
rough.
Doc Rivers' game plan. 21, can you do something for me? But the Rock, come on, Jokic, as an MVP candidate, you can't be losing to the Rockets. Mike Malone said it. Y'all are soft. He called them soft.
Yo,
He said, y'all want to do that round one. Y'all gonna get bounced at round one.
the path to the final goes through Houston.
I fear.
That's
Al
so
Prince
nasty.
Sengun runs the West.
Greater than.
Well,
Sengun,
Yeah.
Jalen Reeves.
That's a play on the NCAA tournament. If you
Oh yeah.
'cause
Oh yeah.
it's in
Oh,
Houston.
I thought he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right, we're gonna wrap this up with my plummet, which I didn't have the ticker going the whole way, but I really don't care. This is how we open up every episode.
We do
So
not care.
whoever's watching this, deal with. Yeah, like Mike Tomlin said. If I had to go with a plummet for the week, I think I'll maybe swing it to women's basketball, and the fact that I love that it's finally getting its light and that people realize this is this is good basketball. Angel Reese is like Anthony Davis, like gender reversed and slapped in college basketball, averaging 23 and 15. Caitlin Clark
That's
is,
crazy.
I promise you, just Steph Curry after one weekend with a California doctor. But the reason it's getting so much light is all the bad reasons. They're so worried about these two players at the point it's come like y'all comparing them based off like white and black, and it's just let's just appreciate the two best players in college basketball. Like they talk trash. Caitlin Clark's over it. Angel Reese is over it. I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard her like what she had to say on the situation, but I'll assume she's over it. She won a championship. She probably don't care. But yeah. Good
As Thomas
basketball
said, we do
being
not
brought
care.
up for exactly. We saw good basketball. They talked their trash. Angel Reese came out on top, and and Flauger's, that's another
Yo.
sum of mine. Flauger's getting a feature with Lil Wayne. That's tough.
Oh, yeah.
Sonogo will be in the NBA. That's all I know. Sonogo is tough.
Yeah, he'll get the Oriaki treatment. He'll be there for 3 years, and he'll be playing in Romania after that. But
I'm with you there, but-
I'll tell you that. He'll get the Oriaki treatment.
That's
He gonna get that dragon. He gonna get that dragon bender treatment.
Dude,
Drag his ass
all
out
you
the league.
time-
Streets were
Yeah.
saying he was better than Jalen Brown.
Yeah.
I don't know
Dragon Bender.
why is this doing this to me.
What's doing what?
Oh, there we go. It was still red for me. I don't know why, and I'm not cutting that out whatsoever. But here we are. We're
Nah, it was
talking about
fine.
defensive. Oh, I don't know. On my end, it was red, but we're gonna keep that in because it's not really that much of a blooper. So we're gonna be
All I
talking
see is
about
red.
our defensive line prospect. I love Cardi. So I don't have bust on there, but we're starting with it. Best believe. We're starting with a bust. And I usually let the fellas go first. I got mine today. I texted this to Danny on the train. I could see Tyree Wilson not panning out. He's got powerful hands, and he's a very good tackler. He's like very physical, and he can play either a 3-4 or 4-3 linebacker. But he has like no bag, and he's not bendy. He's not really super athletic. Of course, you can teach a deeper bag. I don't know how much more fluid you can get, but
He kind
I
of
don't
looks
know.
like a
That's
D
my
tackle.
bust.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying. But Danny, I'll swing it to you for your bust.
My bust, yeah, man. Like you got a lot of guys who will really have these high upside. I think the only sure thing. I'm gonna start with my best and go bust kind of here. I think the only sure thing in this draft is Will Anderson. You're looking at the whole draft and you're just like, wow, these D linemen have it's just Will Anderson, right? I think from the edge perspective, Will Anderson is the most sure.
Yeah,
So
I dig that. I dig that.
in that regard, for a team looking to draft someone, he is the best. But I'm going to say Jalen Carter's the actual best because I think if you don't care about legal situation and you think you can mold him into a good guy, Steelers might trade up. I heard looking to trade up to 8 if he's there.
That'd be baller. No, so
Yeah,
this is kind of like Bryce and CJ Stroud, where it's like Bryce is the best, yeah, but I think we could agree, like, if we had to bet on one of these quarterbacks to absolutely pan out, it's probably going to be CJ Stroud. Like there's
yeah.
a little bit, yeah. But Chris, were there any prospects you were looking at and you were thinking that they just won't turn up, like they just won't work out?
I think so. As I was looking, I seen the name. I seen Miles Murphy name like between fifth best, eighth best, 12th. Like I've seen him in a lot of different places, and I think from what I've read up on him is like he doesn't have the explosiveness or the quick twitch. And I think at defensive line now in the NFL, you need people who are fast off the ball, have the quick reaction and things like that. So I think if all that holds to be true, I think Miles Murphy could possibly not work out just because of missing that explosiveness. Like I mean, you don't have to be 4.3 speed, of course, on the defensive line, but I think being able to explode and get fast blocks and being able to wrap your hands around a running back or a quick quarterback, like that stuff matters. So I think if it's anything like that, I think Miles Murphy would be my pick to maybe not work out.
Yeah, and I'm
Any
actually gonna
thoughts on that?
I'm gonna hit back on mine. I'm gonna get actually my bus is Brian Breesy, sticking on the same team.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
He looks like a 6'6" JJ Watt, except he's slow. He doesn't have bend. He's just this kind of like lunky guy. And if you go watch his highlights, he only does well when he's overpowering someone. He doesn't have any like footwork. He just kind of just tries to overpower somebody. And as we saw in the first year, Jordan Davis tried to do that sometimes. And he's more of a beast than this guy, right? It didn't work.
Yeah, and he's more like absorb double teams, just plug holes type of guy. But
Yeah.
Breesy, you're not. Yeah, no.
It's not going to happen. So I think he actually has a really high bust potential. But if he starts to like develop a bag, goes to like an okay team, maybe the Eagles at 30, he goes late in the first or early in the second. And he goes to the right team, he could develop. But I just think his bust potential is very high because he relies on his physical attributes and not his like technical ability.
Yeah, and so with Brian Breesy, I think he would be a fine, like you said, early second, maybe mid-second prospect. Like I think that's a good range. But I see a lot of people saying top 15. Let's pump the brakes and swing it back to Chris's for
DC not
Miles
having that.
Murphy. I honestly think one of the, like you said, like Murphy's inability to change direction really fast could catch up to him, especially when trying to locate the ball and runs. And he's also got some pretty bad pad level. But that's something you can work on. That's something you can work on. But for the points you said, I do agree. Danny gave us his best. He said Will Anderson. Chris, do you want to give us your best, and then I'll go mine, and then we could probably wrap around to like sleeper or favorite. But Chris, I'll let you go first. Who's the best defensive line prospect in the draft?
Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter is easily the best,
W.
and I think the reason why he's been pushed back, we all know why, off the field issues and all that stuff. But like we talked about in the draft. I don't know if you guys remember a long time ago, I was talking about Shaden Sharp, talking about how good he was. People were talking about off the field stuff, blah 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 blah. I get that, but if you're there to play a sport, at the end of the day, it's what you're there to do. I think Jalen Carter is the best at what he does in this draft. I think that's just how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, outside of like on the field struggles, like physically, there's just like none. They're like him and Anderson are two of like the most, I think, polished prospects in their respective positions to come out in a while. And I think both of these dudes, thinking back to last year, I truly think they would have just went 1 and 2, like flat out over Walker. Maybe Hutchinson puts up a fight because he was really good last year. The hype was there for him, but yeah, I'm gonna go in a different direction. I know Danny. I don't know. He told me his best was Anderson. Oh no, he told me his surest was Anderson. The best is Carter. You said Carter.
Exactly.
I'm actually gonna go Will Anderson. I like how quick he is off the ball. I like that. I like his bag of pass rushing moves. And he's also very smart. I think he does a good job at being able to keep his eyes in the backfield, see what's going on. if I had to give one knock on him, I like he does light stuff up. Don't get that wrong. But when it comes to trying to beat a tackle, sometimes he uses too much of the speed and the athleticism. And sometimes like he can't overpower somebody. It's going to be a tough task against stronger tackles in the league. But overall, that's definitely my best. Danny, do you want to give us your favorite, and then we'll do sleeper last?
Yeah, my favorite in this draft. It's a guy. He wears one number higher than T.J. Watt. He wears similar colors to T.J. Watt, and it's Lucas Van Ness. This man is a freaking freak. He's like 6'6". He looks like TJ Watt was cloned, but like then they put HGH in his water. Like literally, he's taking some. He's got to be taking some stuff because this man is like a freak. And I think he's actually the biggest steal. He's definitely like a steal in this draft. He's not my sleeper, but he's definitely like if you're gonna get him, he's the guy. Like if he's there in the second. He's not going to be there in a second. He might not even be there at 15.
Yeah, so my thing is, I thought Van Ness and Breesy were similar in the fact they're both very strength reliant. The difference is Van Ness would bench press Brian Breesy to the moon. So like he can be strength reliant for a little bit until he adds, the pass rushing moves and all that. And I also think he's really good on stunts. So swing it to Chris. Chris, do you have a favorite prospect in this draft?
I kind of would like to combine my favorite and sleeper, if that's cool. It's the same person.
Yeah, go ahead. You've done it before. You did it with Richardson.
Oh yeah, you're right. I did. Yeah. So
just combo it.
Keon White is my favorite, and I want to say sleeper because I've seen him anywhere from 4 to 7. So I'm not sure of how much of a sleeper he really is, but Carter, Anderson, Van Ness, they've all been getting most of the talk in my opinion. But from what I've seen, Keon White, he's an athlete. And a big explosive athlete from that. And whether you have him at, I know I've seen him at outside linebacker as well, but mostly on the edge rusher. I think as an edge rusher, he can be special if he gets the right coaching and is able to hone the athleticism he has and just the raw skill that he has. I think if he could put together, I think he'd be really, really good. So I say him as my sleeper and favorite. Like sleeper being like he can be as good as people think Will Anderson or Jalen Carter could be out this draft. That's why I had him sleeper, but he's my favorite prospect too.
Okay, showing a little love there. I was swing it to my favorite. I think Danny, I'm gonna let Danny. Can you take one guess who you think my favorite might be?
Your favorite's Kalaj Kancey.
How did you know? Because that is my favorite. Here, I usually put 3 strengths, and I usually have 3 weaknesses. Here's mine for Kalaj Kancey. Strengths. He might have the best bag of pass rush moves in this class. He's very quick, and he has strong hands. Weakness, small. That's it.
You know what it sounds like?
But it's so Aaron Donald. Is that what you're thinking? Or
He's coming out of Pitt. He's undersized defensive type, interior defensive lineman. It just sounds very familiar, and it just happens to be that Aaron Donald's at the end of his career, and it's kind of like history's playing out to repeat itself. You got one guy about to leave the league, and you got one guy who's like Pitt. It's like cool, throws a guy in,
plug and chug. Now the thing with Kancey is that he's so small that he's like almost ineffective in the run game. It's almost like if you were to pair him with Jordan Davis, let Jordan Davis play obvious run situations, let Kancey play obvious pass situations, that would probably be like a disgusting duo. That probably. So like if you were available at 30, I'd be very happy with the Eagles taking him. I don't know if he gets there.
How happy would you be if the Eagles drafted Kancey and our boy from Georgia?
Nolan Smith or Carter?
Carter.
Any combination of the 3 on ball.
No, what if you drafted both?
What do you mean? Like
Kancey and Carter?
We'd be unreal then. Look, I'm going to be honest. There's never, as years of an Eagles fan, there's no such thing as too much defensive line. And as well, there's no such thing as too much defensive line. There's no such thing as too much offensive line. But yeah, so I'm gonna throw out my sleeper real quick while we're at it. It is speaking of Georgia boys, is Nolan Smith, which I think he almost got a little overhyped for a second because he had the world class combine in my eyes. Now, there is a knock on him. He is a little small for an edge rushing, linebacker. But I think he's the best bend in the class. Like he can really get under tackles and around them. He's too strong for tight ends to block. He's too fast for tackles to block. And he's super laterally quick. He's got ball recognition. He picked off Anthony Richardson. Yes, that is a strength despite Richardson's poor decision making in college. But yeah, Nolan Smith, like Danny mentioned, like I said to Danny, if the Eagles could land any two of Carter Smith and Cansey, that'd be my ideal D-line draft, I guess you could say. But I'm also wishful thinking. Chris gave us his sleeper along with his favorite. So, Danny, just give us a sleeper, and then we can move on from here.
Yeah, my sleeper, like I said, there's so many defensive linemen. This is very deep defensive line draft. It's like the receivers for the last couple of years. It's the defensive line and running backs are a strong point of this draft, and I think this goes a long way. It means a lot of teams can build through this draft this year. And I guess my sleeper of this draft is the guy that you said might be there at 30, Elijah Cansey. If he's there at 30, he probably could be a top 10 pick. So I'll say, if he goes with the right situation, you're gonna be like, we're gonna be redraft. You're gonna see the redraft videos. Oh, let's redraft this team. The redraft the 2023 NFL draft. Cansey will be in the top 10. I guarantee that if he goes to the right team.
I agree. If someone puts him in the right situation, he's going to be super baller. So, with the defensive lineman out the way, that was a super.
I'm saying like 15 sack season, 15 sack season
rookie,
type productive.
Like at his peak,
not rookie. Like at his peak.
Yeah, I would say I don't know about rookie, but peak, I can see it. And he's going to do it super efficiently too. I agree. So moving off the defensive lineman, we're going to talk some NBA action. The Dallas Mavericks have been absolutely Maverick crap since they have traded for Kyrie Irving. Does that correlate? Is Kyrie the issue? I think we all can agree they have no wing depth or wing defense anymore, and that's the obvious one. But if you had to look at one person, whether coach Mark Cuban, Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, Dwight Powell, Chris, who would you say needs to hold the most share in the Mavericks meltdown this season?
I'm gonna say it's three people in my opinion, but it's really revolving around one. Jason Kidd is the problem in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. On no successful team in 2023 should Reggie Bullock be starting at power forward and Dwight Powell at center. It's just rough to have that be your starting five. When you have a JaVale McGee on the bench, when you have a Christian Wood coming off the bench, and I'm not saying that Christian Wood can guard great. Okay. Nobody can guard. So now you should try to shift to outscoring people like you've done in the past. Didn't do it. So I think that's a big part of the problem. And like I said, if Dwight Powell's out there to be a lob catcher but can't catch, Reggie Bullock's out there to be a shooter and defend, but he's not making shots, it's almost like, what are they out there for? And they don't have another place to go. Because after those two guys, on the wing, you have Josh Green, who's not ready yet. He's okay, but he's not ready yet. Jaden Hardy, who I loved out of the draft, he's just not ready yet. He's good, but he's just not ready yet. They don't really have anywhere to turn. So then now you look at Luka and Kyrie as a big blame, and it's like Luka and Kyrie don't play defense. Kyrie's been in the league 10 years. He has never been a defender. Luka's never been a defender. So you're asking them to do something that they've never done. You're kind of like beating a dead horse in that sense. So I think Jason Kidd's the reason to blame because he hasn't made the right adjustments. Like if the adjustment is you need more scoring, you start Wood at the 4, you start McGee at center, and you have a rim protector, and you have Dwight Powell coming to be the energy guy. Just try new stuff. I think that Jason Kidd hasn't done enough trying, and also with the team with Kyrie coming in, they didn't get any wing defense. They didn't get any wing scorers. They didn't even try to go out and get a Terrence Ross. Even give Melo a 10 days, see if he can make a couple shots for you on the wing. Anything. They didn't try enough, in my opinion. So that's kind of why I think Jason Kidd is the blame.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting, right? You said Jason Kidd. I think coaching goes a long way into this. Kyrie, like as good as he is handling the ball, Luka needs to be bringing the ball up. And maybe I'm crazy to say this, but Luka should be bringing the ball up, and he is most effective when he's not off ball. And I think
I
that
see what,
might
yeah,
speak
yeah,
to
yeah.
why they're having like inefficiency in offense. They can't outscore people when Luka's slow ass is getting trapped in the corner. Like you saw this
Yeah,
in the
nah,
playoffs.
yeah.
No, Tatum would hide in the playoffs sometimes in the corner, and I've visibly seen Tony get mad because he's like, "Why is Tatum playing off ball in the corner? Get your best player the ball, and let him make something happen."
Yeah, and so much Tatum is a lot better moving off the ball, but it's a difference when you just sit in the corner and don't move at all. Luka just can't play off ball. He refuses to move. He'll sit on the wing and won't do anything. He'll stand on top of the key, don't do anything. I think the difference between Harden and Kyrie and then Luka and Kyrie is that Harden fully embraced being a point guard and Kyrie fully embraced being a shooting guard. I think Kyrie and Luka are like trying to half-ass be both. I think Luka's trying to be a scorer along with the main playmaker, and Kyrie's trying to be the main scorer with a little bit of playmaking. Like, just cut it out, guys. One's the point guard, one's the shooting guard. You can't play defense. You got to make it work as efficiently as possible. Like Luka, if that means bump it down, like if it means 25 and 12 a game instead of 32 and 9, so be it, dude. And Kyrie, I mean, if you average 27 points and no assists, oh well, you got to win the game. But ultimately, it is Jason Kidd's fault. I mean, you have two of the best ISO players in the league, and I get it. It's so easy just to be like, Luka's turn, Kyrie's turn, Luka's turn, Kyrie's turn. That's never won basketball games ever, and it's not going to win you a championship. That might get you a first round series win if you could man it. Like I don't even. That just won't work, especially not against the Nuggets. The Nuggets are going to run you up and down the floor. Like Dwight Powell's going to guard Nikola Jokic. Are we serious? Fun fact I learned from the Nerd Sesh on TikTok. Did y'all know Dwight Powell is a top 25 scorer for the Dallas Mavericks in their history?
I'm not
That's a pathetic
surprised. He's
franchise.
been there like 10 years. I think he's been there like 10 years.
Tim
I'm
Hardaway
not
Jr. is
surprised.
top 25.
Yeah,
Luka
not
is
surprised.
like 7. Luka's 7 already or something like that. Like,
What's
sorry
Barbosa?
ass franchise. I got no clue.
My
I
boy
think
Derek
Jason Terry.
Harper and Ronaldo Blackman, they got something to say about that. They're probably like in the top 5. Wow, I just really said some old ass dudes' names. Wow. But yeah,
Yeah, not bro, because your bag is unreal, and I don't look forward to you in the
Holy shit.
outro game next week. But yeah, I
Wait till
think
I
we
got
can
one
all
thing to say about the
agree.
Mavs too. I have one thing to say.
Oh
One more
yeah,
thing to say
yeah.
about
Go
the
ahead,
Mavs,
go
too.
ahead, go ahead.
When I
Yeah,
seen they were
go
getting
ahead.
Kyrie, my thought was, okay, Jalen Brunson, Kyrie. I'd say Kyrie's better than Jalen Brunson. I think Kyrie's a better scorer than Jalen Brunson. They do it different ways, but I think Kyrie's a better scorer. And I looked at them like the difference was they actually had wing defenders last year. So even if the ISO game for Brunson or Luka wasn't working last year, they could get a stop. They could look for Finney Smith to get a stop, and they can get an actual stop. Now, when the ISO game isn't working, it looks way worse when the shooters are making shots because they can't get a stop now. So I think a big portion of it is Jason Kidd, but I also think too they lost what they were fifth or seventh in defense last year, now they're like 23rd. Like if your offense doesn't move, but your defense goes from 5th or 7th to 23rd, it's impossible. It's literally impossible. So I think that's really big too. Like they can't get stops, and I think that even with the ISO ball, they don't have the same shooters to kick out to. Like they don't have like outside of Bullock, they don't have another person shoot to kick out to. Luka Doncic isn't a great spot up shooter. That's why he has to have the ball, like DC said. He has to have it because he has to play make because he but he's not a good just standstill shooter because he hasn't done it his whole career. I'm not blaming him for it, but just the fact of the situation. Kyrie has. So as DC said, Luka probably should handle the ball a little more in that because Kyrie's played with Bron, Kyrie's played with KD. Like he knows how to just stand still shoot. I think that works. So I want to raise that DC's point too. I thought it was really good. And it kind of fit into what I was thinking too.
Nah,
No,
definitely.
you're good. It just Danny, go ahead. Danny, go ahead.
I was gonna say like you can see the clear. Like you fall off to like what 23rd%, like 23rd in the league, like you said. There's a lot of guys in the league that like just you can't do that and be successful. And speaking of that, Luka can be compared to a few guys in our next segment on Take the Skyline.
Yes, that is correct. But right before we jumped into that, Chris, you brought up a good point about Jalen Brunson. Per Tim McMahon of ESPN says Mark Cuban is blaming Rick Brunson for the Mavs losing Jalen Brunson in free agency, saying, quote, things went south when the parents got involved. So Mark Cuban, not only fumbler of the scrub daddy, but inability to take accountability.
That sounds like a Drake line.
Mark Cuban blames everybody but himself every chance he gets. Like, bro, just have some. I'm sorry. Mark Cuban complains every single chance he gets. This dude tried to protest the game. He's blaming a dad for giving his son advice on what to play. What sense does
This
that
is
make?
what
In
missing
what
out on
world
the
does that
scrub
make
daddy
sense?
will do to you, man. Missing out on the scrub
Man,
daddy. This is
You
what
got
it
to
will
become
do.
the scrub daddy. Become the scrub daddy.
Exactly. You have to get rid of the stains yourself. You can't just make the stains and be like it's the stains' fault. The scrub
You're the
daddy
stain,
will
buddy.
forever haunt the Dallas Mavericks
Get tough stains
organization.
out.
Exactly. And we're going to do a Take the Skyline segment
On his
featuring
biggest stain.
Luka Doncic.
On his biggest stain.
So we're not starting easy because Luka is getting some crap right now. So, we got to make some clickbait, of course, guys. I got 5 players right here that I think are very comparable. Luka Doncic or Damian Lillard. Mind you, this season. Just throwing that out there.
You can go first.
Yeah, I want to hear what Chris got to say. That's what I'm waiting on.
I hate that I gotta admit this. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be Luka. I'm taking Luka over Dame all the time. This year, last year, and I don't know if we're giving reasons why, but the reason why I think Luka, even with how bad his defense is, Dame isn't a defender either. Luka affects the game in a lot of ways when he's rolling and when he's going, when the team's playing worth the f. He affects the game in a lot of ways without having the defense side of the ball. So I personally take Luka over Dame.
All right, Dame's a better scorer. Luka's a better player. Simple.
Whoop.
Yeah, Dame's hot, one of the best scorers in the league. I'm going Luka Doncic overall, though. He's had a first-team All-NBA season. Now, Luka Doncic or LeBron James? I'm going to let Danny, you have to go first here because I know Chris's answer. So we're going Danny first.
Bro, it's LeBron. LeBron, I don't care if he's unhealthy. I don't care if he's on half a leg. I don't care if he's on 3 legs. Yeah, you know the reference. LeBron.
Time.
3 legs is crazy.
The third leg.
Oh, God.
But yeah, LeBron James is definitely better than Luka Doncic. LeBron James, when he's healthy, is the 3rd best player in basketball right now.
I like that. And we already know who Chris is going with.
I mean,
that's his answer every time.
Do I have to say it? Luka is
time.
trying to figure out, and all jokes aside, I pick LeBron, but Luka's trying to figure out what LeBron had to figure out. When I'm getting all the blame, like I think, Tony, you said earlier, Luka's on that first Cavs stint where they had a good year, they're having a bad one now, and that's all Luka's fault. So Luka,
bro, he's about to get to Miami.
Figure it out. I want to see Luka figure it out next year. I want to see what he does. But for right now, I still got to take Brian for stuff like last night. Like even though he had a bad quarter, he closed out, not just with scoring. He boarded the ball. He made the plays. He really slowed it down and made the game work for him in his age 58 year. So, I'm going Brian over Luka.
So I would go Luka here. It's just because when LeBron is playing, he's really well. It's just every time he comes back from an injury, it's that first couple games. He's old. He's got to get into things. But Luka has been very consistent, walking, 30-point triple-double. I will go Luka. They both don't play a lick of defense nowadays, but one of them's 23 and the other's 38. Luka, you gotta try a little harder, but I'll rock when I'm here.
5 years from now, Luka Doncic will be ending his contract, and Luka will be joining his European pal.
I've been saying that for years. I've been saying it for 2 years now. And when it happens, I'm gonna go back to my Twitter and pull up all my tweets and with the timestamp. I've been saying it for years.
Guess what?
Years.
And guess what? They're all going to join Giannis in Milwaukee.
Oh no! See, I don't think that.
So my bold thing. See, where I think you're being a little bold is why do you think Luka is going to be staying all 5 years? No shot. He's requesting a trade by year 2 or 3 of his
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. He demands a trade this offseason, and
When
the
they
brother will
lose
be
today,
and he'll be a Boston Celtic as we give out Peyton Pritchard in 2 seconds.
Luka for James Harden and Tyrese Maxey. Who says no?
Embiid and Luka would be so gross.
It's gonna
So,
be
all right,
44
moving
fouls
on
per
to our
game.
next one. Moving on to our next one could be a little polarizing one, I guess you could say. Luka Doncic or Kevin Durant?
KD, any day of the week.
Ooh, okay, Chris.
It's kind of hurt my soul to even say this out loud, but this year alone, I gotta go Luka over KD. I know it's gross. I know.
I don't care when KD's
have
been
to.
on the floor. When KD's been on the floor, he's better than Luka, bro.
Yeah, I gotta go Luka.
I
on
would
this
go.
one. I'm gonna go Luka.
I would go Luka Doncic as well. Kevin Durant, top tier, run from the grinder. Top tier.
You
No,
can't,
Only
you can't
second to
factor that
Dame.
into him, man.
Second to Dame. No, Dame's stuck in the grind. Sorry.
No, Dame running from the grind because he has no expectations.
Lucky.
He don't care about his career. He just wants to be alive. He's happy to be
Go
alive.
with that.
Yeah, look, bro's chilling. I heavily respect it. Now, moving on to this one's super hot in the Mavs Celtics community. Luka Doncic or Jason Tatum?
It's Tatum.
I'm going Luka again. I got Luka over JT. I know it sounds crazy. I think I had a different take like a couple of weeks ago or what we did take Scott on JT and Luka, but I think I'm going Luka over JT this time.
Here's the thing, though. I'll tell you this.
Go ahead, Danny.
The thing that Tatum has done, he's taken that leap this year. He's increased his consistency, and here's the thing. You saw the Celtics lost the first time in probably like 15 games to the Sixers when Jaylen Brown didn't play. But they kept it close. And the Sixers – and the thing that Tatum just brings that floor up for the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
He's like – what he does for the Celtics is so much.
I like that one. Tatum – that's really good. Tatum is the Celtics floor raiser, but you can't take the top off without Jaylen Brown. I like that one. I will be throwing – look, I'm going to go Luka for now, but when the Celtics win the championship, I'm throwing out disgusting agendas. I'm just going to let y'all know now. Actually, no.
Too bad.
Next week, when
the
Mavericks
are
run
losing too bad the Celtics losing the Sixers round 2.
Yeah.
Not going to happen.
That'd be nuts.
I'm so serious. I'm so serious. The Sixers will not be making the trip back to Boston. That series is ending in Philadelphia.
Too bad the Celtics going to fumble. The Celtics are going to fumble their lead, and the Phillies are going to have their home court advantage.
That's not happening. The Sixers are probably the most unserious contender I've ever seen. I'm talking straight out my ass. I'm just really mad about that game last night. But yeah, when Luka doesn't make the playoffs, I'm throwing out nasty agendas. But for now,
how do you feel about the N13 that didn't count?
Yuck.
That was a foul. That was a foul. 100% a foul.
Oh, Derek White? Oh, yeah, that was rough.
Yes,
rough.
look. Oh, my. All right, and now the play. So I was mad last night. The play they drew up, it was going to be a pin down. Smart was going to get it wide open under the rim, easy lay. He got tripped. And then, Tatum has to shoot up this crazy shot, and I'm just –
They said Tatum thinks he's Kobe.
Look, I watched a 5-minute compilation of Jason Tatum, like, not you specifically, but busting your favorite players behind. Like, he's statistically one of the most clutch players since he's came in the league. He's probably put up 40 on your favorite player. But, like, every time he goes on national television and has a slight stinker, it's over. It's so
yeah,
over.
But here's the thing.
Shout out Derek White.
You just made the case for why Tatum's better than Luka, but you still chose Luka. It's questionable.
I chose Luka because he's an all-around better player. If Tatum's best thing is scoring and Luka's better than him at it, then, like, he's a better playmaker as well, even though the gap's not that wide, in my opinion. I don't know. I'd have to see what Jason Tatum were to do if he were in a situation like Luka's. What would Luka do if he were in a situation like Tatum? That's why basketball is so lovely. What's also lovely is this next question I'm about to ask: Steph Curry or Luka Doncic?
This season, I'm taking Luka.
So would you take Tatum over Curry?
Yep.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yep.
I think when Steph Curry's been on the floor, I think he's been one of the best 3 players in the league, in my opinion. Yeah, he's just look like I know the Mavericks already but with Luka on their team, but like, what would the Warriors be if they didn't have Steph Curry right now?
Is
They
Jordan
were
Poole
falling.
though.
Is Jordan Poole healthy and is Andrew Wiggins back?
Wiggins is back. Jordan Poole's in his why did you give him that money phase?
Oh, that's not good. What
How about Clay, bro? How about Clay? Is Clay in the we should go back to Shanghai phase?
Yes, he should have been playing basketball in Pelican Bay somewhere.
What Draymond are we getting? Are we getting triple single Draymond, or are we getting glue guy in your face Draymond? It's too many.
They're both
it's
really
too
the same.
many
They're both really gross.
hypotheticals.
Bro,
but speaking of Steph Curry, did you see what Draymond said last
Green.
night to the ref?
No,
Draymond, so Lou Dort got a foul called, like he got fouled, and Draymond and Kevon Looney were like, so Steph just got hit the same way at the other end of the floor. He's a 4-time champ and a 2-time MVP. Why can't he get that call? Respect to them, bro. Steph Curry got like riders on his team. Like
That's real, though.
Yo,
some real Steph sexuals.
if you want to be for real though, Marcus Smart and Draymond Green are the same person with different font.
Low-key, different positions, but like they kind of just like triple single, good defense, annoying.
Marcus Smart to make a random 3.
Player in the team.
Marcus Smart to be 1 for 10. He'll make the.
And Draymond won't.
That's why I like.
And Draymond won't.
No. He did
Hell no.
One series, just one series against LeBron. One series. Other than that, he'll hit the side of the rim every time, or he'll just stand still and hand it to one of the light skinned dudes, and they'll make it.
I don't blame him.
One of the light skins. We'll go out on that one. One of the light skinned dudes.
Curry, Clay, or Poole. One of those 3. He's looking for one of them.
Does DiVincenzo count? Does DiVincenzo count as light skin? Anthony Lamb's.
DiVincenzo probably lived right next to Joe Biden when he growing up. He went to Sally's.
Cool thing. Speaking of DiVincenzo, yesterday I was running basketball at Tally. I ran into a football coach for Villanova's football program. Pretty dope.
Nice.
We talked about the DBs and the class and stuff. Yeah, it was dope. But we're going to swing this to the outro game. I got an NBA player, and then Chris and Danny are going to try to guess it. They essentially get 10 questions each. They got to build off each other's questions. It's only yes or no questions. So, yeah, I got my player in mind, and y'all can decide who goes first. Doesn't matter to me.
I'll get it kicked off. Did he play in the LeBron era?
Yeah.
I'm saying from when LeBron was drafted till now.
Yeah, yes, that is a definite yes.
Okay. Is this player in the Eastern Conference? Or did he play in the Eastern Conference?
He did play in the East.
Did he play in the Atlantic?
He did play in the Atlantic.
Let me see. I always forget my divisions messed up.
That's cool. Ever since Danny asked that question the other week, I've been kind of like, I've been getting better with him. Speaking of the Atlantic, the Celtics going to wrap that up with a win against Toronto tonight.
Nah, Tatum was announced out.
JB 40 piece, I'm afraid.
Okay. Did this player play for the New York Knicks?
He did not play for the New York Knicks.
Did he play for the Philadelphia 76ers?
He never played for the Philadelphia 76ers. No.
Unfortunately, he's a Boston Celtic then, right?
He is a Boston Celtic, and you asked 2 straight, so Chris has to ask 2 straight.
Damn it. Okay. Did this shoot? He's a Boston Celtic. Is this player Eddie House? I know it's really random. Is this player Eddie House?
No, but I was thinking of him. Of him. Respect Eddie House.
Okay.
Eddie House, NBA Finals legend.
Is this player Brad Wanamaker?
This is That's a great one, Danny. This is
Pitt
not
alum
Brad
too. Shout out
Wanamaker.
Brad Wanamaker. That was my dude in college.
Brad
He was great in the NBA.
Wanamaker,
He was great
greatest
in
free throw
college.
shooter ever.
And indeed. Was this player a power forward?
No.
Okay, I have another question too. So was this player a guard?
He was a guard. Yep.
Okay.
Did this player play before 2015?
Yeah. Like if you're asking, like he played years before that, yeah.
Is this player now retired?
I want to say so. Yes. I don't think he's on a team. I believe he's retired, but
Okay.
I could just be wrong. I'll just say he is inactive,
Okay.
to my knowledge. So
Go
we're
ahead,
at
Dan. Use your turn.
13 or something like that, or like
Yeah,
12.
something like that.
Yeah.
Is this player Rajon Rondo?
It is Rajon Rondo.
Let's go.
Damn.
That's a good pull, Danny. Let's go.
DC, you know what's
It's the
crazy?
inactive that gave it away.
That's the GOAT.
I had.
Now,
two
I don't know if it was
Rondo-
that. I think the one thing that gave it away was he said he played before 2015. I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie. When I think LeBron era, I don't know why one of the first people that come to my mind is Rajon Rondo. Probably because he played.
Because Rajon Rondo, bro, because in the 2012 Eastern Conference Finals, I promise you, Rajon Rondo was the best player on the team. Not Paul Pierce, not Kevin Garnett. And in the 2010 Finals, if the Celtics beat the Lakers in Game 7, I promise you Rajon Rondo was getting Finals MVP. He was that dude. That's a
And I
great
want to
player.
add this about Rondo too, DC. What made me think about Rondo when you think about LeBron is a lot of the LeBron like almost highlight plays has Rondo in it. Like when LeBron almost blocked it off the glass and Rondo went up and then did the behind the back pass. That's Rondo. And then we have it wasn't against the Cavs, but Rondo got to stop the ball on the floor, picked it up, dribbled again, and went and scored a layup. That's all during that time. And I want to put this in there too. My next two questions were going to be: is this player Isaiah Thomas? Is this player Rajon Rondo? Those are the two players in my head. I was going to say IT first because when you said inactive, I'm like maybe it's IT.
Celtics
then,
point guards
yeah.
are stacked. Celtics
Yeah,
always have
nasty.
stacked point guards.
Yeah,
Rondo,
Kemba Walker,
Kemba,
best point guard.
Kyrie.
Best point
Hoppy
guard in
Dennis
Celtics
Johnson
history.
too. Hoppy
No,
DJ
it's
too.
weird. For years, Celtics, not all Celtics fans, but I was always just like, yo, just let Marcus Smart run the one. He's not going to take shots. Like, just let him play. But yeah, I'm telling my kids, Rajon Rondo was better than Chris Paul.
Terry Rozier,
because he
best
beat him
Celtics
in a
point
fight
guard
at Staples
ever.
Center. Yeah, Danny knows I wanted to keep Rozier. Summer 2018. I also want the Celtics to get D'Lo, but
Imagine keeping Gordon Hayward over Terry Rozier.
hey, watch your mouth. Gordon Hayward was balling, and then he broke his wrist again. He was averaging like 21. We had 4 players averaging 20, and then he broke his wrist. It was
I think
super
Gordon
dope,
Hayward's
though.
probably
Gordon
one of
Hayward.
my least favorite players I've ever watched. Honestly, like, I don't even know why. I just hate. I hate the way he plays. Hate the way he gets his spots. I just hate it. I hate it.
If you ever watch Gordon Hayward, if you guys ever watch Gordon Hayward, if he gets to the elbow, he's not missing.
Oh, it's gonna go in. That's why I said I hate how he gets to his spots.
That thing's water. And
just
it
remember,
stops the flow of the game. Like, it's not real.
Remember the Celtics fumbled Kyrie Irving.
Just nasty.
Kyrie fumbled us. But I will die on the hill. The best version of Kyrie Irving was 2018 Kyrie Irving, the year he didn't get to play in the playoffs. That was the best version of Kyrie Irving. Most efficient. There's not a better version.
Kyrie Irving was at his best when he's playing in the finals with LeBron.
No. I mean,
we switched.
Oh, we lost.
Well, nice. I'm cool. Danny now.
We're at the end of the episode. But what I was gonna say was, no, because Kyrie had several duds in those finals before the comeback started. Like he had a game where he had
a really bad. I think it was game 2 where I think he had like 10. He was like 4 for 13 or something like that. He had a bad one. He had a bad one.
Look up. Everyone knows that one year with the Celtics where Kyrie pulled out all these insane moves. There's this one. Everyone knows the one against Steph where he pump fakes, jabs, spins it, like hesitates, hits a fadeaway over him. He is the spin move between Brogdon and the other Bucks defender.
That
He
was
is this
insane.
He has a
That was
fake
insane.
behind the he's getting guarded by Hawks Dennis Schroeder. He's faking a behind the back. He puts it between his legs, catches it again with his right, puts it up. Like if you look up Celtics Kyrie Irving ball handling, it's the best you'll ever see. It is the best you will ever see. He is unreal. But with that being said, outro game, Danny got a win picking Rajon Rondo, Celtics legend. We obviously, man, keep showing love to the YouTube. If you like this episode, like and subscribe. If you're listening to this where you find your podcast, leave a 5-star rating, leave a download. Head on over to the YouTube. Leave us, subscribe, leave a like.
On the road
Guys,
to
anything to say before we get
200.
out of here? Yep, on the road to 200. You guys got anything to say before we head on out of here?
That's all.
Yeah, I want to say,
That's all,
man,
folks.
shout out to the Summit Boys again. We're back at it again. And
out to
also,
Summit
I
Boys,
want to
man.
say, shout out to the WNBA draft coming up. I know that's really random, but it's coming up soon. And shout out to the number 1 pick, South Carolina, big. You should say big man in women's basketball or big woman, whatever you want to say. Shout out to her.
Don't say big woman.
Yeah, that would sound
Don't say
crazy,
big
right? Yeah, but shout out to her.
Are we talking about Aaliyah Boston or?
Yeah, Leah Boston. Yeah. Shout out to her. She'll probably be number 1 pick. She's a baller too. I know we talked about Reese and Clark a lot, but I want to touch about Leah Boston too. She's a baller.
Yeah. Well, from AP, DC, and CB, Summit Boys, make sure you guys have a good one, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Peace.
Let me take away with